Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be sharing a 12 by 12 layout using the mini kit that I put together at the beginning of the month. And I am a guest with the Mini Kit Monday ladies for the month of February 2020. I'll go ahead and add all of their links down below so you can check them out as well. Now, if you'd like to see my kit share and the other two layouts that I've created using this kit, I will also add those links to those videos down in my description box. So you can see here I have just two full-size pattern papers left in my kit along with a lot of scraps. And I also have a piece of that Vellum specialty paper as well. And for this kit, I combined the Honey and Spice collection by Heidi Swapp with the Again and Again collection by Pink Paisley. Now, I did also pull out some tools to use with my kit, and they were the We Are Memory Keepers rulers as well as a punch. Now, in the top left corner of the screen, you can see the sketch that I'm using that was shared in the Mini Kit Monday group. And you can see there are 3 photos on that sketch, but I'm going to be using just one photo of my daughter today. And I took this photo of her when we were out to lunch. And I am just going to use that one photo on this layout. So for the other 2 spots where those photos would be, I plan on fussy cutting these huge florals out of that pattern paper and placing them where those photos would be. So here you can see me using my tear ruler, and I am going to go ahead and tear out some of this vellum to add behind my photo. And I do tear a mat as well out of that watercolored look pattern paper that you're looking at right there. Now, before I go ahead and tear a mat out of that paper, I am going to go ahead and gut it. And that way I can use the outer edge as a mat behind my background in just a few moments. So here I'm just going to cut off the branding strip, and then I'll go ahead and gut it as well. So up next, I'll go ahead and use my mini Tim Holtz scissors and fussy cut these 3 large florals out of this pattern paper. And I do cut 3 of them, although I'm just going to be using just 2, but I was not sure which ones I wanted to use at this point. So I'm just going to cut them all out right now. Now, at this point, I do not have any full-size pattern papers to add behind my photo as my background paper. So I'm going to have to piece together a background paper, and you'll see me do that in just a few moments. Now, at the end of this month, I will go ahead and do a layout share here on my channel where I show you guys all that I've created for the month of February, and I will also include what's left of this mini kit that I've been using for my layouts for the Mini Kit Monday series. So if you would like to see what I have left and see a before and after photo of my supplies for this kit, go ahead and check that video out once it's posted at the end of this month. If you're not already a subscriber to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing as well, and that way you'll be notified once I post that new video. And it is helpful to click on the bell next to the subscribe button, and I think you get a notification once videos have been posted. So here I'm just going to go ahead and piece together some of my scraps, what I have left, and try to create a background for my layout. So here I'm just using the larger pieces of scraps, the pattern paper that I have left over, and I'm going to create my background. And you're not going to notice a lot of this at the end of the layout once I add all of the other elements on top of it, all of those huge florals and my photo as well. These pieces are just going to be peeking out through the background. So next up, I am going to add those florals onto my paper just to see which ones I'm going to be using out of the 3 that I cut out. And then I'll go ahead and adhere them onto my background. Now you'll see I decided to go with the full size floral to the left of my photo, and I'll use the smaller floral to the top right corner. And here I'm trying out the larger floral, but I decided to go with the smaller one because that just was a bit too large and my photo was getting a bit lost on the page. So I'm going to go with the smaller one. Now here I have my photo, and I decided to use my tear ruler on the bottom part of the photo. And if I used it on the top, it would cut off my daughter's hair, so I decided against that. And I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this photo to that pattern paper. And I will remove the excess on the top part and then adhere that to the vellum. Once I have all of that in place, I'll go ahead and add that to my background, and then I'll add my floral pieces onto the background. Now the floral that's on the left side of the photo, I will use some dimensional foam adhesive behind that floral piece. I wanted it lifted off the page and have it laying right over my photo to the left side. So here I have this foam adhesive where I've been using all of the circle foam pieces, and all of those are gone, and I have just the what's remaining of it. So I decided to use it up and not discard that. That definitely can be used, and add that behind my floral piece, and there I'll go ahead and add that next to my photo. The one to the top right corner, I'll just go ahead and adhere that directly to the background. You can see I'm lifting it up over my photo right now, but it just would have been a bit too much adding it on the photo also. So I needed a bit more green next to my floral pieces, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut out the leaves from around the third floral piece that I cut off earlier. And I'll add those in around the pieces that's already on my background. So next up, I will go ahead and add some more of these vellum strips on my layout. I really love this vellum specialty paper, and this is from the Again and Again collection by Pink Paisley. As you saw before, I added a piece of it behind my photo as a mat, and now I'm just fussy cutting out some of those triangle strips to use as embellishments on a layout. I'll place one of those strips next to my photo on the right side, and I'll place one in a cluster that will be created below that very large floral piece that's on the right side, on the left side of the photo. I'll also place 2 of those triangles over my title, and I'm going to add my title in over the photo. And I use the bold gold thickers, alpha thickers for my title. And I also pulled in some of the flat gold alpha stickers as well as part of my title, and my title will read "So Very Beautiful." So there you can see me right now just using my T-square ruler to help me get it all nice and straight and adding that title in. And next up, I'll add those vellum pieces using some liquid adhesive. And once you add the liquid adhesive, once it dries, you do not notice it behind the vellum paper at all. So next I'm going to add some more embellishments, and I pulled out the cardstock stickers from the Again and Again collection. I'm going to tuck one of those stickers in below the floral piece to the left of the photo. And I'm also going to add in some of the word strips. Now you can see I added one of the word strips on top of the word beautiful on my title. Later on I do remove that. I cut it in half and added below the title instead, towards the right side of the photo. Here I'm just going to go ahead and continue embellishing the layout, and I'm going through my die cuts, and these die cuts are from the Honey and Spice collection by Heidi Swap. And I'll go ahead and add the items that I used today down in my description box if you wanted to check it out. And I'm going to go ahead and add a vellum piece below that huge floral to the left, and that's where I'll add my journaling. And it simply added the date and where we were and who was in the photo. Now I am also going to add a tag in next to that floral piece and bring in some gold thread. I'm going to add that in to the tag and use some adhesive just to keep the thread pieces in place exactly where I want it to be. And then I'll go ahead and continue tucking in some more embellishments. Now I brought in a doily, a white doily, and I did add a white doily to this kit. I added a white one and a gold one. I already used the gold one on my previous layouts, and I'm going to be using the white one today. Now I will cut the doily in half. I'll tuck part of it in to the top part of that floral piece. I'll add part of it in next to the photo on the right, as you can see there. And what's left of it, I will go ahead and cut the edges off and add it to the lower left cluster as well. So as you can see, I used up as much of that doily as I can. I'm just tucking in the last two pieces in next to this cluster on the lower left corner. Now I'm going to go through my die cut pieces and pull out some more and add them to the layout. And you'll see I have 3 leaves that I punched out for a previous layout that I did not use on that layout. So I'm going to add them in on this layout here today and use those up as well. And I'll tuck one in right next to my title. I'll tuck one in to the lower left cluster, as well as right on the top of that floral piece next to that doily. So earlier when I added in my journaling vellum on the bottom left cluster, I did cut off the top part of it that had a word phrase on there. But the word phrase is written in black. And I am going to go ahead and adhere that right now above my photo, but I will remove it. It just stood out a bit too much. The other word phrases I have here on this layout, the words are either in gold or white, and I just felt like that one in black stood out a bit too much. So I'll go ahead and remove that in just a little bit. Right now I'm just adding in the word veneer pieces I have left over from what I added to this kit. I'm going to add those using some liquid adhesive, and I'm using up all of the florals and the leaves as well. And here I'm just going to add in some more word phrases, and these are from the She's Magic collection by Dear Lizzie, I believe, but I'm not positive, but I will go ahead and add it to the description box below. So once I'm done adding in those word phrases, I will go ahead and add some Nuvo drops. And I do use a gold Nuvo drop. And I'll go and tuck those in all around my layout and into my clusters. And I also bring in some gold splatters as well using my Liquitex acrylic ink. So you see, after I add my splatters in, I do go in and add some details to the border of my layout. I'll go in with my fine liner, my gray fine liner, and add in 2 lines as the doodly border all around. And one of those lines will be a little bit wavier than the other one would be. And then I felt it needed something else. It needed something a little extra, and my edges needed to be a little darker. So I'll use my finger dauber along with the vintage photo distress ink, and I'll ink the edges as well. And I absolutely love the difference that that made. I'll use the same finger dauber and go ahead and ink the edges of my floral pieces also. And I'm just being very, very careful right now because my Nuvo drops are not yet dried. And once I'm done adding in that ink to the edges and my floral pieces, I will add a bit more thread to my clusters. I add a bit of that thread next to my title, on the bottom part of my title, and I'll add some of that also to the top floral piece on the top left corner. So don't forget to check back at the end of this month where I'll give you guys a look at all of the projects that I've created throughout the month of February. I'll give you guys a really quick flip through, and I'll also go ahead and share what's left of this mini kit that I've created for the Mini Kit Monday series, and I'll do a before and after photo as well if I can of the kit. Here we have a close-up look at my layout, and I'll have some still shots as well. Now, if you guys enjoyed the process today, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to consider subscribing as well. And I want to thank you all for watching. Until my next video, bye.